listening to the Ecosystem Approach Show. I'm Jason.
And I'm Patricia. Tune in every Monday at 1 p.m. Pacific Time and 4 p.m. Eastern Time on Transformation Talk Radio.
We discovered that human potential is severely limited when you program humans like a machine, which is standard practice today for self-improvement.
The Ecosystem Approach teaches you how to uncover your infinite potential by using natural methods that are truly revolutionary. Join us now for the Ecosystem Approach Show. Today's show is audio only, meaning no video, because we're going to do 2 meditations with you and your eyes will be closed. We'll start out talking about meditation misconceptions and then ask you to join us doing some holiday-themed meditations. Stay tuned. We are married intuitives with over 20 years' experience who created the Ecosystem Approach for you. This is much different because we see human beings as ecosystems that need to be restored instead of programmed. We show you how to take an energy approach for an internal discovery that is rational, practical, and useful for everyday life. Jason, before we get started, we want to tell you, the audience, that this is our 200th show that we've done with Transformation Talk Radio. We appreciate you, the audience, and this is a very important anniversary. Today, we wanted to give you something for you to use, and a couple of meditations seem to be perfect. But first, we're going to talk about some major misconceptions about meditations that really frustrate us. Jason, what are some of the major misconceptions about meditations?
Well, the first one is very important. The false belief that meditation reduces stress. It reduces stress in the moment. My definition of stress is one that you won't find in any scientific literature. Stress is being disconnected from your essence, what some people call soul, acting in the world that is contrary to your authentic self. A lot of stress energy is picking up negative energy that during daily activities like being stuck in traffic, being late. But that's not the ultimate stress. The ultimate stress is when you are disconnected from your purpose, from who you are authentically, and frankly, in a programmed world, that's all of us.
Yes, truly.
And I need to say this because I started out long before I started the Ecosystem Approach. I started out doing meditation when I was in my 20s. It was in college, and it was a effective meditation technique called
transcendental meditation.
Transcendental meditation, yes. And I've been doing that for 50 years now. Mm-hmm. But I realized before we started doing the Ecosystem Approach that I could meditate, feel relaxed, and then be in a stressful situation the second I came out.
Yes.
It didn't change my ultimate stress, which is being a 6 and having fears and insecurities. That didn't change. They seemed milder. I do admit that over time that I seemed to respond as intensely, but it's just that I think my body learned to live at a lower level of stress. Our meditations are far better than that, and we're going to talk about that in just a minute. So the first misconception is meditation reduces stress. Not true. It promotes emotional health.
Meaning our meditations.
Any meditations.
I see. Okay.
This are meditations misconceptions. That's what.
Okay, I just want to make sure I have it right.
And this idea that meditations promote emotional health. Mm-hmm. They help you be a robot, so you can relax for a minute, go back and act from programming as opposed to from your essence.
Okay,
and that's not emotional health. True emotional health comes from your essence, your soul. When you're in alignment with your authentic part of yourself, your essence, and you're acting that out in the world. Now, just because you work for a corporate job doesn't mean that you're a robot, but just because you are doing meditation doesn't mean that you're not a robot.
Exactly. And by the way, I want to say that stress comes from all walks and areas of life. I don't care who you are or where you are. Stress is everywhere. And one of the things that I found is in our meditations, I'm going to just jump to this for just a moment, it really helps me be able to handle what's going on that I'm facing in any moment.
Yes. And it helps you over time so that, if I was doing the ecosystem approach way of doing meditations for the 50 years that I've done that, I would have been in a far different place today than I am now. So here's the other thing.
Okay.
There's a lot of there's superficial misconceptions about meditations. Mm-hmm. One is that they have to be done in the lotus position. When I was looking for a graphic for this show, and I typed in meditation, all I could find was the lotus position over and over and over again. And you don't have to sit in the lotus position. There's nothing wrong with sitting in the lotus position.
And lucky you if you can do it.
Yes. I find it extremely uncomfortable. And it takes away from what I'm really focusing on, which is the energy.
Yes.
And so I'll sit in a chair in a relaxed way. You can literally, with our meditations, you could be walking, you could be sitting, you could be standing. I can imagine, Patricia knows this. I hate waiting in line. So for me, if I was waiting in line and I had no other choice, meditating the ecosystem approach way could be very, very effective.
Right.
So this idea of the Zen position, the lotus position is sort of like an urban myth. It doesn't need to happen. Here's the other thing. I saw this in a Hallmark movie the other day.
Okay.
We've been watching a lot of Hallmark movies, because of my mom, but that's a whole nother topic. But she was listening to a meditation, and the meditation was, "You are strong and confident."
Oh, the affirmation thing.
Yes, the affirmation thing, saying that you are this and you are that. Well, we see energy. We understand what works and what doesn't. When you put affirmations on top of negative energy, the negative energy just keeps going.
Well, and it just keeps getting weighed down, but the energy that you're putting on top of it keeps adding to that negative energy's power, I'm going to say.
In a form, it numbs you out.
It does.
It makes you more... there's a fog that's created with those affirmations when you put it on top of the negative energy.
Well, what it does is it gives you the illusion that if you do enough affirmations, everything's going to be okay.
Yes.
But that isn't the reality of the real world.
Yes. So here's the other thing, and we're gonna give you some examples in the next segment. But meditations have to be with music that is spiritual, like the chorus of angels.
Yes,
the like you're in church, like it's deep and reverberating, and there's nothing wrong with that music
if it works for you.
If it works for you, and frankly, what we see that works and what doesn't work is based on our view of the energy. So when people do our meditations and we see the energy after they do them, we see that they're working. And so one of the things that we do is we use lighter music. And some of our music is saying, well, that doesn't sound like meditation music. Some of it isn't even what most people would call calming. And this idea that you have to be calm for meditation isn't necessarily the truth. Now, sometimes when I meditate, I'd like to relax and become more calm. Sometimes I don't have time. That's why a 5-minute meditation can work. Because what we do is take away the negative energy. So in other words, if you're stuck in traffic and you got cut off and you're just really angry, clearing that anger
really helps.
Really helps, even if it doesn't calm you in the moment.
Exactly. I remember we did a meditation class where we used to live. We actually gave the class, and there was a person in the class that after the class, she got very upset, and she said, this isn't what I wanted at all, and you don't know what you're doing. And I have to tell you that I stood there and I looked at her for a moment, and then I realized her expectation was that that meditation meant she wouldn't think about anything at all. Do you know anybody who can shut their brain off like that? The answer is no.
Well, I know that after doing this, my type of meditation, I can sometimes, it doesn't happen 100% of the time, I can go into a place where I'm empty. But I'm not sure that empty is better, having done it for so many years and looking, is better than now I go in and I do the way we do it, and we'll show you how to do that in just a minute. So here's my last thing, and it's kind of a pet peeve.
Okay.
But when I Googled the benefits of meditation, the top responses were from medical organizations. I think that's really rich hypocrisy, because for years and years, medicine didn't recognize meditation
at all.
They didn't advocate for it, and only after they proved it over and over and over again that they could see these physical responses to meditation did they say that it works. To go to a medical professional to meditate, to me, is like going to
well, I would say a dentist that gave you candy.
Exactly.
To me,
that's a. I was looking for a good metaphor. That was a good one.
It's a good one. So, so Jason, what are the key points of this segment?
The emotional benefits of traditional meditations are temporary. They don't remove the negative energy. Traditional meditations are band-aids that help you feel good temporarily, and then you go back to being a machine or a robot. The ecosystem approach has created meditations that remove bad energy and can be very specific for your life. And the ecosystem approach shows you how to do meditations for your life that help you evolve and that have lasting benefits.
In the next segment, we're going to do a meditation to help you sleep better. This is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason and Patricia, and you're listening to Transformation Talk Radio. This is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason, and I'm Patricia. And in this segment, we're going to do a meditation to help you sleep better. We are married intuitives with over 20 years' experience who created the Ecosystem Approach for you. This is much different because we see human beings as ecosystems that need to be restored instead of programmed. We show you how to take an energy approach for internal discovery that is rational, practical, and useful for everyday life. I want to explain how this meditation works. We're going to combine our clearing technique with meditating. Jason, why don't you finish that part?
So when we say blow the negative energy or any emotion or even a concept into the processor, that's what you visualize in your mind's eye. And as you're meditating, again, in your imagination, in your mind's eye, gather up these emotions, these negative energies, whether they're veils and illusions, barriers, these types of intangibles, and then put them into the processor. And if you need to know what our processor looks like, go to our website, theecosystemapproach.org, sign up for our free section, and you can not only see a picture of the processor, but you can download it, cut it out, and put it on your desktop. It's a really valuable tool. And this processor actually exists in the non-physical dimension. We created it, and it takes negative energy and processes it so that it comes out neutral.
I love that. Jason, let's talk about the music as well.
Well, we need to talk about activating life force.
Oh, okay. Well, the bottom line is when we activate life force, activating life force is the most powerful energy that anyone on Earth has access to. And this activating life force, what we like to do is when we remove negative energy and then we activate life force, it goes into that place where that negative energy has been stored in our physical bodies. And then when you activate life force in there, well, first off, you can do healing with it. You can use it for energy. You can use it to gain better clarity regarding your own personal thinking. So activating life force, and by the way, it's for so many other things.
So when we're doing meditation, we do clearing and then we do activating life force.
Yes.
And we're going to give you an example in just a minute here.
Okay.
But we wanted to talk about the music because we're really unconventional about music. Mm-hmm. We don't believe that you need to go into a trance state every time that you meditate.
Right.
There are many people who struggle to be in a trance state, period. We like happy music, even stimulating music. Mm-hmm. You don't have to be zen or laid back to clear and focused and benefit from our meditations.
I love that.
Remember, it's about the energy. Our meditations are about the energy. So we're trying to get rid of the energies.
The negative energies.
Yes. And we see energy, and we can create have created meditations that help you. Here's a big misconception about sleep meditations. It's not about being relaxed. It's the negative energy that keeps you from sleeping. So we can get you relaxed, and the minute there's a noise, a thought, or a distraction, you're wide awake again. It's the energy that is keeping you up. It's not the fact that you can't relax. You can't relax because of the negative energy. And so when we remove the negative energy, it's a better way to get to sleep. So this is our sleep meditation for you. I direct all my resources in all dimensions to eliminate. Let's start with all the chatter in your head. Just in your mind's eye, gather up all that chatter and blow it into the processor.
Pick up all that chatter. Pick up all that it just feels yucky that you can hear going on in your head. Nobody else can, but you can hear it. Pick it up right now. Take a breath up and blow it into the processor.
Maybe it's your to-do list. Maybe you're saying, I got to do this, I got to do that. Oh, I'm not going to get this done on time. Take all those thoughts, gather them up, blow them into the processor.
In that to-do list that you're listening to in your head, is there a face that you can attach to that voice that says you're doing it all wrong, you didn't do it right? Is that a parent? Is that a teacher? Is that a friend, or not even a friend? What is it? If there's a face attached, pick up that face and put it in the processor. You don't need it. Take a breath.
So what is that face saying? What is that to-do list saying? Do you have to have that project done? You're going to be late. You're not going to get it done.
I didn't do it right.
It's not going to be good enough. Take all those thoughts, put it in the processor. What about the shame list? All those little regrets and things you feel bad about in the last couple days. Are those on your mind? Maybe I offended that one person. Maybe that one person I talked to doesn't like me. Gather up that face, gather up that situation, and blow it into the processor.
And to eliminate, I'm going to put it right here in the shame list, and to eliminate the false belief that says, I have to carry these burdens, I can't do anything about it. When the truth is, I can do something about it. I can clear all of this negative energy and relax at the same time. Nice and easy. Clear the burdens of that shame and that face and that to-do list right now. Take a breath.
What about the fears and anxieties you have right now? Are you afraid that something's not going to happen? You're not going to get that promotion? Maybe it's that presentation you have to do, and you're afraid you're not going to do very well. Take those fears and anxieties and put them in the processor right now. Take a breath.
Take the unworthiness and the hopelessness and the powerlessness and the disappointment about the things that haven't been done, about the things that are keeping you awake and keeping you stuck in these negative energies. Remember, this is all about negative energies. And you can clear these things right now. Take a breath. Blow them out. Put them in that processor.
So just see what's out there now. Go look and see what's keeping you from going to sleep right now. Mm-hmm. Is it someplace in your body? Is it some sort of words or phrases? Or is it a person that's talking in your head? Whatever it is, look around. You've got your eyes closed, you're relaxing, your body is feeling heavy. What's keeping you up right now? Look at that negative energy and gather it up and blow it into the processor.
And to eliminate all of the things that you're angry about just for the past few days. Don't be a victim to these angers and fears and overwhelms. Pick them up. First off, they don't belong to you. It's negative energy, and we don't belong. We don't deserve the negative energies that are holding us hostage and keeping us stuck. Nice and easy. Pick up all those fears and those angers and blow them out.
Did someone say something mean to you? Are you angry about a comment that someone made to you that was maybe a little nasty or hurtful? Take that picture of the person, of that face in that situation, and take them and put them in the processor. Now, if it's your spouse, it won't hurt him or her. Just put them in the processor right now. Remember, you can put people into the processor. You can put situations into the processor. You can put
dreams. You can old dreams or angers and
scary
hates.
Dreams.
Exactly. There are so many things. I use the processor for so many things, like embarrassing situations. All of us, we can't control the things that go on in our lives sometimes. So the processor really helps with all of these negative energies that we get stuck in so easy that keep us from sleeping at night.
People that have problems sleeping process all these things at night just before they go to sleep. Right. So just let it come and say, okay, what's there? And then just put it in the processor.
It's a great way to comfort yourself at night. It's amazing.
So, pleasant dreams.
In the next segment, we're going to do a meditation for a good holiday. This is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason and Patricia, and you're listening to Transformation Talk Radio. This is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason, and I'm Patricia. And in this segment, we're going to do a meditation for a good holiday. We are married intuitives with over 20 years' experience who created the Ecosystem Approach for you. This is much different because we see human beings as ecosystems that need to be restored instead of programmed. We show you how to take an energy approach for internal discovery that is rational, practical, and useful for everyday life. Jason, I need you to explain. I'm supposed to say let's do the meditation right now, but could you explain more about that negative energy?
People have this misconception that to have a good holiday, they have to be positive. So if the last couple of years your mother made these comments to you that were really hurtful, or they're always questioning your weight, or they made movies about this one when your mother questions whether you've been married or not, or whether you have a boyfriend. How many
lots of movies.
How many movies have they made about that?
Yes.
So they have to hire someone to be a phony boyfriend for the holidays. Those hurtful situations. Maybe there's a comment that's made, or maybe there's something that happens in your family that you struggle with.
Yeah, exactly.
We can't just turn that frown upside down and make it all go away, because energy doesn't work that way. That's why the ecosystem approach is so powerful, because we take that negative energy. We don't shy away from it. We address it.
Straightforward.
We take it and we put it in the processor, and we put it in the processor till it goes away. And some of these things are really deep-seated. When you're going back to be with your family, those situations are very deep-seated and hurtful, and it'll take a while to deal with it. But trying to be positive for the holidays just doesn't work. What you have to do is identify the things that are
bothering you. Yes.
Put them in the processor. And that's what we're going to do in this meditation.
Exactly. And then, of course, at the end of it, we're going to activate life force, the most powerful energy that any of us has access to. You can't put life force energy and expect it to work at its highest level over negative energy. You have to remove the negative energy first. That's the key to what it is that we do. And especially when you see how when you remove that negative energy, you put it in the processor and activate that life force energy, you can actually see and feel the difference almost immediately. So, Jason, are we ready to get started?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go.
All right, here we go.
I direct all my resources in all dimensions to eliminate. Remember all the bad situations in the past and just take those and put them into the processor. It's really simple. Those memories, those bad memories, don't shy away from them. Take the energy of those situations and put them in the processor. Think of them like a little movie clip, a video clip.
Y'all ready? Take a breath. Put them in the processor.
And to eliminate all the hurt and pain. And now this time, you think about what the hurt and pain is from the past for you. So when we say, and to eliminate all the hurt and pain, just take a minute and say, okay, what's in my memory bank that's created problems in the past holidays?
Well, and I also want to say, if you can't think of any at the moment, that's because you've grown numb to them. Because we all have them.
So, and to eliminate the numbness I have to all the old past hurts and pains and embarrassments and situations that made me struggle or have bad memories with during the holidays. Take a breath.
And to eliminate the old pattern I have of getting stuck in the judgment of the holidays and the way I do a holiday and the way my family does a holiday and the rules and the programmings of it all. Take a breath. Blow it out. You don't need it. You don't need it anymore. And to eliminate the part that's keeping you stuck in the indifference of, oh, it doesn't matter. I'll just go and endure and drink way too much. I release and let go. That old pattern. Take a breath.
Take all the numbness that says, it doesn't matter what I do, it's still going to be bad. Take that hopelessness and put it into the processor right now.
Excellent. Take a breath. Take all the hurt and pain and judgment that I have about how much money I spend, how much money, and then at the end of it, that I keep trying to get everybody's approval, and yet it never seems to be good enough. I release and let go all of this negative energy right now. Pick it up. It's not serving you. And blow it out.
Take that fear that says, if I don't get expensive gifts, people won't like me. Or that part of you that score keeps and says, oh, how much did I spend versus how much did they spend? That just sets you up to be hurt some way or another. Take a breath. Put that scorekeeping in the processor right now.
Yep.
Take a breath.
And to eliminate being a victim to the old family rules about how I'm supposed to present myself, how I'm supposed to present my gifts, and how I'm supposed to not tell how much money I spent, but let everyone know I spent a lot of money on their gifts. I release and let go all of that judgment and those rules and that programming. The truth is, that's not what the holidays are really about, even if that's what your family has always made that be the holiday. Take a breath.
And to eliminate all the discomfort I have traveling, whether it's in a car, whether it's in a plane, whether it's, you always get that person that sits next to you on the plane who I won't go into all the options. Just you fill in the blank, and to eliminate the resentment and the frustration with that person who sits next to me that does blank, blank, blank. You fill it in. Put that in the processor.
Take a breath. And to eliminate the anger and the resentment I have about the holidays in the past and the things that I've said and the things that others have said to me. I release and let go all of that anger and that resentment and the pain of that. It's not serving me. Breathe. Blow it out. And to eliminate all of the resentment that I'm not the favorite in the family, and every time I go home, that's exactly how I'm treated. I release and let go my resentment about that. Take a breath.
So pick out a relative, and to eliminate my resentment about my father, my mother, my brother, my sister, anybody that my aunt, my uncle. You put in the blank, and then put in what they do. Take that situation, put it in the processor right now. Take
Good one. Take a breath. You can also take the memories of that situation and throw them in the processor as well. Take a breath.
It's not going to change the situation, but it's going to change your response to it.
Yes.
So, and to eliminate feeling like you've been activated during the holidays, and all these raw emotions are coming to the surface. Take that activation and those raw emotions and put them in the processor right now.
And to eliminate any embarrassment or fears that haunt me from holidays past. This one might take a while, might take 2 minutes. The bottom line is get it started today. Take a breath.
And to activate life force so that I can be happy during the holidays, no matter what happens.
And healthy.
Yes, no matter who says what to me, no matter what things activate me. Fill yourself up with that greater energy, that life force energy right now.
Exactly. And to activate life force energy so I can be grounded in all difficult times.
And to activate life force so I can be happy right now.
Yes.
And have the expectation of a good holiday. Just sit with it for a minute. Take a breath. Just relax and sit with it just for a minute.
Stay tuned. When we come back, we're going to put it all together and review the myths and the how-tos of meditation so you can have a better experience. This is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason and Patricia, and you're listening to Transformation Talk Radio. This is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason, and I'm Patricia. And in this segment, we're going to put it all together and review the myths and the how-tos of meditation so you can have a better experience. We are married intuitives with over 20 years' experience who created the Ecosystem Approach for you. This is much different because we see human beings as ecosystems that need to be restored instead of programmed. We show you how to take an energy approach for internal discovery that is rational, practical, and useful for everyday life. Jason, can you review the meditation misconceptions?
So we tried to do a couple examples for you, and there's no reason why you can't create your own meditations, but let's review the myths first, okay? Meditation misconception number 1, that meditations eliminate stress. No, they don't.
No.
They postpone it.
Well, clearing eliminates stress.
Clearing eliminates stress because the ultimate stress is when you're disconnected from your essence. And when you clear the negative energy away from your essence, it allows you to be more authentic. So whether you're just doing something superficial clearing, some sort of deep clearing, that's when you're that's when you're really de-stressing. And just because if you feel frenzied, if you've been stuck in traffic and you're overwhelmed and you're frustrated, you can take a pill to postpone that stress.
Yes.
You can take some quieting tea, which will just postpone the stress, because energies, what we see is energies don't go away. They build up. Mm-hmm. And it's one of the biggest misconceptions out there that if we don't feel anger, we don't feel frustrated, we don't feel anxious, then it's gone. It's not. It's just you just numbed out from it. You just put it someplace where in a place that you're numb to, and you can't feel it anymore.
Well, Jason, can I jump in and say one of my favorite places to go and meditate is to go sit in the sun in the backyard with my bare feet on the ground. And I have to tell you the success that I personally have had by doing that. I pick a subject, sometimes 1, 3, depending on how things are going for me. And I sometimes don't always remember all 3, that kind of thing, because I've gotten so wrapped up in doing the details of removing the negative energy of the first thing that I wanted to meditate to get rid of.
So basically what you're doing, let's break that down. Okay. Basically what you're doing is you're going into a quiet space. You like to be in the sun.
I do.
You like to have your feet on the ground, which is a form of grounding, which is very positive. And you just start clearing. You close your eyes and you go in within yourself.
Yes.
And you start clearing. And just that process is
healing.
It's healing. It's meditative.
Mm-hmm.
It relaxes you,
mm-hmm.
and you're working on getting rid of those negative energies that are keeping you from being relaxed and stress free.
Exactly. And one of the things that I found is when I start doing this, and when I'm in the middle of it, what I find is that the calm shows me all of the negative energies that are in front of me, and they could be behind me too, but in other words, I'm just saying the things that are in front of me, the things that I can see in front of me, the anger about this, the hurt about that. If I start removing it, more things come up, not to say you're doing it all wrong. They're saying, well, don't forget about this and don't forget about that, because these things are bothering me. And it is unbelievably successful. I love doing it.
And basically what you're doing is she's creating her own meditations within herself by doing the clearing process in a quiet, relaxed way.
Exactly.
It's really, really helpful. And I know this because I did another type of meditation for close to 40 years, and it was very effective. I must say that it made me feel relaxed. Mm-hmm. But then the minute I came out, I still had the same fears, anxieties, worries, and if I was in a stressful situation, the minute I came out of the meditation, the stress was there again.
Exactly.
And it's when I started doing the clearing that things started to change for me.
Exactly.
Those fears and anxieties started to go away.
Well, and Jason, I know that the meditation doesn't create usual meditations, the myths about meditations. They don't create good mental health.
Yeah, mental health. We're going to do a whole show about mental health, but mental health is not being a good slave, being a good robot. So you can just get enough, restore yourself just enough so you can go back and do the robot things in your life.
Yes.
You know, it's almost like we think of mental health as taking a time out so you can go back and be abused as a robot, because it's not natural for us to act as a robot.
Yes.
Now, you might think that being a robot is because of the job I have. No, it's how you approach that job. Mm-hmm. It's being a robot is how you approach your life as a system of processes. If I want to do this, I do this. If I want to do this, I do this. If I want to be a good parent, I do this. And if you're doing it based on some sort of programming, you're being a robot. What good mental health comes from connecting with your essence, that authentic part of you, and says, how should I be a good parent? How should I do this job in a way that satisfies me? Mm-hmm. How can I go to the PTA in a way that is powerful, empowering for me?
Exactly.
That's mental health. So this idea that all we have to do is take a time out so we can go back in there and jump into this dysfunctional life that we have, it doesn't work that way.
Right.
And it's a big meditation misconception.
So what do we know about meditations, Jason?
Well, this idea that you have to have a specific posture, I'm going to pick at the edges here.
Okay.
That you have to sit in a good posture. I know that there are people that say that, okay, the energy flows better that way. But the truth is that the most important energies are the ones we're talking about, these deep-seated energies. So you can straighten your spine all you want, but if you have this trauma from childhood, straightening your spine does not remove that, but identifying specifically what that trauma is and clearing it is what makes it so powerful. So we're not saying you don't straighten your spine, but you can meditate while you're standing up. You can meditate while you're lying down. You can meditate while you're walking in nature. There are so many different ways, so you don't need a specific posture.
Okay.
The music is such a form of programming that these angelic voices are the only way to meditate. It doesn't have to be that way. It can be much more. You can create your own mixtape or a playlist, I guess.
Yeah, you were telling your age there.
Yeah.
Okay.
To use music that works for you, and maybe as you start clearing, you'll need some different music.
Exactly. Anything else you want to say about all of that?
No.
And it's we have found everything that Jason and I do. I guarantee you, we never ask you to do anything that we haven't done ourselves. So it's a really, really, really important to know that. So, Jason, what are we going to talk about next week?
Simple ways to make the next year better. It's time for that. And not only are we going to talk about the simple ways to make it better, but we're going to really talk about, instead of doing, trying to do new habits or new processes or resolutions.
Okay.
We're gonna just say, okay, let's start from scratch. Let's decide to do something that really makes a difference, and that you can't fail at. You can't screw up.
Okay.
You just do.
Okay. I like that. So, Jason, how do I start to use the ecosystem approach?
If what we've talked about today speaks to you, all you have to do is go to our website, theecosystemapproach.org, and sign up for a free section. If this idea of using energy to make yourself better speaks to you, then the ecosystem approach is something that you need to try out. All you have to do is listen to our show every week, and Patricia will tell you when that is. Go to our website right now, theecosystemapproach.org. Sign up for our free section. Go to our Facebook page, theecosystemapproach.org. Like us. We have our videos there. This one was an audio, but most of them are videos, and you can get them there. And listen every week. This process, this energy process, it's cumulative. The more you do it, the more negative energy is removed from your essence, and the more you'll be authentic to yourself.
We'll connect next Monday at 1 p.m. Pacific Time and 4 p.m. Eastern Time. This is Transformation Talk Radio, and you're listening to the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason and Patricia.
Remember, your ecosystem is the most important one in the world.
Thank you for listening to the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason and Patricia. I'm Patricia. Tune in every week as we discuss practical ways to apply the ecosystem approach and develop your potential to live your life on your terms. For more information, visit our website at theecosystemapproach.org.